Hey, what's up guys? I'm going to talk to you about something that you should definitely be aware of if you're going online to meet a Filipina for a genuine relationship. This is the most savvy and dangerous situation when it comes to being scammed in the Philippines, I believe, because you are usually blinded by what happens in these scenarios. So there are girls that will come at you right away and be very direct about asking for money. There's some that will just start planting the seeds of hardships right away, and they have no patience. They're just gonna come at you and you can just tell right away. Or they'll offer you, an exchange for money, basically photos or videos or whatever. So there's a lot of that kind of stuff for sure. But most guys are pretty aware of that. It's pretty obvious. The tough situation is when you connect with someone that is playing the long game, where their intentions are not genuine, but they extend their connection time with you so long that you start to form a liking for her and you start to build a long distance relationship with her before she even mentions anything to do with money or hardships or anything like that. That takes a lot of patience on her end, but the good ones, that's what they do. And if you think about it this way, when they're playing the long game, they're not doing it with one person. They're doing it with more than one. So there's always a point of reward for them because they started one, 2 months ago, and then they're just starting to get some financial support. Well, they've started other relationships online with different guys playing that long game, knowing down the road they're going to get paid. So these girls are really, really good at it. And they know all the little ways of getting us dumb guys with caveman brains sometimes to sort of fall for the traps. And in this situation, I was talking to this gentleman about, the relationship he was building with this girl online and how perfect she was because there was no red flags, and he had been talking with her for like 2 months. And then all of a sudden she starts to mention some things as far as hardships, some medical stuff and some other things. And I think in this case, it was like her mom had some health issues. And not to say that this can't be a realistic thing. Like, people here have hardships and they are struggling financially. But the thing you have to be aware of is how genuine that is, and is it appropriate to put that on someone else, someone that you're just getting to know, that you've never met in person. If someone is doing that to you and all of a sudden they're putting their troubled life on you, expecting or hoping that you're gonna fix these things, ask yourself, is that a good way to start a relationship before you've even met, when someone is placing that on you? And I always tell people, you're coming so far, you're taking so many chances to, come to the Philippines, meet someone online, whatever. Why would you take the chance of going all in on someone that is placing that burden on you before they even meet you, and take the chance that it might not be genuine and that it might just lead to more need for money, which oftentimes that's really what happens, right? The goalpost keeps moving. If you help me with this, I'll be good. But oftentimes that the goalpost moves and they're just going to need something else. So again, why take the chance when there are girls that will not ask you for money? And the proof of that is I've been here for, almost 15 months, and I've met a bunch of foreigners now that are in serious long-term relationships, married, and I've talked to all of them about something that is consistent across the board. Not one of those Filipinas has ever placed the burden of financial hardship on their partner. And a lot of these girls came from poverty, but they didn't put the burden on their partner. They did the opposite. They did things to show that their intentions are genuine. They wanted a companion. They wanted someone that was going to treat them respectfully and be caring for them. And that was their motivation, was to find a good partner. Maybe they had a bad one before. Maybe their ex cheated on them, things like that. So their motivation is not financial gain. And that's across the board of everyone I met. So that's basically right off the bat what I told this guy is like, maybe she's genuine, but why take the chance? Because you just don't know where that's going to lead to. And for me, it rubs me the wrong way if I've never even met someone and that burden's being placed on me. So anyways, talking more with this guy about some of the things that she was doing. So 2 months down the road, the hardship started getting thrown out there. And I asked more a little bit about like their connection and why, what were the What were the reasons that you felt connected with her? Well, it was a consistent attention. That was really nice. She's very pretty. And she also sent a lot of like photos. And basically she was starting to, unsolicited too, send him more and more, you know, they started very clean and then they got more and more, I guess, sexual. He liked it. Like he had this thing going with the girl that was like, she seems sweet, she seems caring, she pays attention, she's always messaging me. And now we have this sort of fun side where she's sending me these, you know, sexy videos, which I love, it's great. But if you think about it, not only is that really not the way to start something before you meet, as much as, listen, guys love that stuff, we love visuals, we love that excitement. But if you're thinking long-term relationship, is that, how many guys is she sending those photos to? If she's willing to send them without even asking for them. So you got to think about that. But it's all part of the mastermind long game, right? So get him excited, get him attached, make it so he's addicted to this attention, and then start to subtly plant some seeds of, you know, I'm gonna need some help because, you know, this or that. So that's basically what was happening. There are other examples of that. Just from other people that I've talked to. I experienced it myself, like way back in the day when I was in the US chatting with a girl for a while, and you know, I started to sort of see that, and then I backed away, and we actually ended up talking about it. I was very direct with her, and she said she actually had a plan of hoping that I was going to be the one that was going to pay her way to become a nurse. Like, it was, whether or not she was going to be a good girlfriend and do all these caring things is beside the point. Her intention, her plan was to find a guy to financially support her to become a nurse. Like, that was her motivation. It's just not a good way to start a relationship, you know? And if you're thinking about bringing someone back to your home country, like, that's a whole other thing, right? That's a concern for a lot of guys. So why, if you're coming all this way, why take the chance with someone that's showing some signs of things that you wouldn't want to worry about when you go back to your country, and she's more exposed to like Western culture? And anyways, we got into all this stuff. By the way, guys, if you want to have, you know, a phone conversation, consultation to talk about any of this stuff, email me and we can see about setting something up and go from there. You can meet this type of person anywhere. This happened to me, boots on the ground, when I was here last time in the Philippines, and I met someone in IT Park as I'm walking by, and she worked at one of the call centers, and she was there with a friend, and we were just chatting, and they both seemed really nice, and I ended up getting the phone number of one of them, and we started chatting. And I wouldn't say this was a really big, long gamer, but it wasn't right away at all. It seemed so legit. I'm like, man, she's working, you know. I met one of her friends who seemed really cool, and I met her in person. I didn't meet her in line. I got to talk to her face to face. I ended up going back to Canada like kind of right after I met her, so I didn't get to hang out with her much, but I had a good conversation initially. And it was about a month in, maybe not 2 months, but close to a month in, that I wake up to a text that was like super long. The texts before were just kind of casual, saying hi, checking in, little chit chat, and all of a sudden I get this long text with this big explanation of the stuff that's happening, and I need to borrow money. I'll pay you back, I promise. And you know, these kind of things right away rub me the wrong way, because we are just text friends at this point, but you're placing the burden on someone that you don't even know that well to solve a major financial problem that you have. And again, it's just not the right way to build a connection with someone. And so for me, it's just like an instant kind of, I just cut it right there. But that was a 1 month thing, and it just, the whole vibe changed when I got this message. And the stuff she said in the message just felt a little bit, it just rubs you the wrong way, you know, when you're getting this big story of all these things that are happening, and it's so sad all of a sudden, and so heavy, and all that. So anyways, long gamers are for real. Be careful of that. And I just think be extra strict with yourself on what you're really looking for. Don't get distracted. There are so many just pretty girls that will give you attention, and you might not be used to it if you're in the US or Canada to have that kind of attention from the type of girls, or at least like the way they look. And just keep reminding yourself that your brain comes from the cavemen, and that you are susceptible to these little things that get dangled in our face, these shiny opportunities for whatever. Most guys are going to be guilty of some of this stuff along the way. As long as you catch yourself and you reel yourself back in and say, what am I doing wasting time chatting with this one? That has nothing to do with the kind of girl that I'm really looking for. So just be aware of it, guys, that this type of approach is going to happen at some point. You're gonna get the curveball thing hit you a little bit down the road. Just be very aware of it. What I tell myself and tell other people is be extra strict with yourself as far as what you are really looking for. And wasting time is the biggest challenge in the Philippines because of temptation and opportunities that are thrown in front of you that you're not getting back home. And you're just like, holy crap, like there's so many potential opportunities. Remind yourself though that a lot of them are not good opportunities. So your goal is to be very strict with going down the path that leads you to what you're really looking for. And just don't get fooled by that curveball that might come a little bit down the road. Just be, as much as you've sort of gotten attached to her, think it through. Look back at some of the things that she maybe had brought up or some of the things that she has done. And then just tell yourself, like, if she's bringing this stuff up now and it's like, oh my God, there's like dramatic this and medical and health, and yeah, maybe you're gonna feel bad, but do you want to wrap your life into this sort of a scenario, which most likely is just gonna continue on or even get bigger? So that's the video for today, guys. Just wanted to mention this type, the long game. Just know that it can happen online, it can happen boots on the ground, and it's up to you to be very aware of what's happening in the conversations, and just don't be a dum-dum, you know? Be strict with yourself and don't get caught up with the wrong scenario just because it's super cute and giving you sexy photos. And just avoid trouble. Another video is coming soon about someone that did not follow that and really ran into trouble. I met him about 2 weeks ago, and we sat down to talk about it, and it's coming soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.